Shut up.
This video is a little bit of a mixture, a little bit about buying your first performance car and a little bit about my own BMW 6 Series and my experience with it and why you should consider one if you was going to buy one. I've been driving almost 17 years and in that time I've been fortunate enough to drive a lot of different vehicles. My first car was an X-Reg Vauxhall Corsa and I've had every vehicle in between that and a 18-foot Beavertail tow truck, which I also owned. There is no proven method to buying cars. If you're watching this video, you're probably in the market for buying a car. You might be a car enthusiast like myself. You might be looking for your first performance car. When buying any car, set your budget in your mind and do not deviate from that budget. Buying anything, especially cars, it's important to evaluate your circumstances and make sure that this is affordable. 99% of these cars, they're liabilities. They will lose you money. No matter what you see online, you know, these cars are appreciating and, you know, people are making all these crazy flips off of some of these really rare cars, especially classic cars. Yes, there are examples of people making money from certain models of cars. However, nearly all of these cars are going to lose you money. So it's important to be realistic with what you can afford, calculate how much it's going to cost you to keep a car like this, because it is going to cost you money. Previously, for probably the past few cars that I've bought, one thing that I always do is I'll go onto Euro Car Parts and I will look how much parts are for that car. How much is it at my local independent specialist to get a service done on the car? Those sort of things, because I've been stung before where I've bought a car, great, I found a wicked deal on it. It now comes to servicing or it now comes to brakes and then I'm absolutely shocked by the bill that they hand to me. And I've had to sell cars in the past purely because I couldn't afford the maintenance. I'll give you one example. I previously had an Audi RS5, it was a 2012 model. When I bought the car, I didn't do my research. And if I'm honest with you, I was a little bit naive. I didn't know as much about cars as I do now. The car was an amazing spec, carbon everywhere, literally every single option ticked. The brakes started going on the car and I didn't know what was wrong with it. So I took it to Audi and I said, yeah, can I get the brakes done? I'm thinking it's just gonna be a set of pads. Worst case, maybe some discs. I wasn't aware that this car was spec'd with carbon ceramic discs that went into the thousands to replace. They were perished, they came to the end of their life. Clearly the previous owner didn't wanna change the carbon discs himself. So he sold the car with the discs warped. And unfortunately, not long after buying the car, I didn't have it long at all. I was faced with the problem of really poor performing brakes. I had to eventually sell the car. These are the sort of things that you have to check, guys. What is the spec of the car you're looking at? How much is it to replace some of the perishables? How much is it to, you know, for wear and tear, tires? And these things, they're important. And these are things that if you drive a lot, they're things that you're gonna have to be spending money on. So be conscious of that. Now, onto this car. Buying a car like this, I'll be honest with you, I'd done a lot of research into this car to make sure that it was affordable, relatively affordable to run. Fuel is great on this car. So driving a naturally aspirated 4.8 litre petrol V8 BMW like the one behind me, you'd probably imagine I spend a lot of time at fuel stations filling up. This actually couldn't be further from the truth. Because of slight mods that I've done to the car, a majority of the time I actually drive on very low RPM. Like I keep the rev range between like 1 and 2K, which means I don't burn a lot of fuel because most of the time I'm just coasting everywhere because every single time I pull out from a road or give way somewhere, I just keep the revs low. Fortunately, because this car has such a big engine, you get a lot of torque. It's packed with torque. It doesn't really take a lot of effort to get the car moving, which means I don't burn very much fuel. It has a big tank, and at full capacity, I think I get about 400 miles of range. So relatively speaking, it's actually quite fuel efficient. One thing I can definitely say for certain about the BMW 6 Series is you're getting a lot of car for the money. We've all been there, combing through Auto Trader, trying to find the fastest car we can possibly find within our budget, or the car with the biggest engine, or the car that makes the nicest noise. I'd probably say this covers a majority of the things that you're looking for at a really good price. When I was looking for this car, I was looking everywhere for a BMW 6 Series. It had to be a 6 Series, it had to be either the 635D or the 650i because I wanted the big V8 engine. Now this one is probably the closest thing you're gonna get to the M6 E63 generation because this was essentially a development car for the M6, so it does actually share a lot of common parts with the BMW M6 of that generation. Immediately, this is the reason why I was like, yes, I have to have this car. It's going to give me the performance, it's going to give me the comfort, and hopefully some residual value, because they are depleting in numbers. So I was confident that I'd be able to get my money back when it does come time to sell it. They say that beauty's in the eye of the beholder or the eye of the driver, but I think it's aged quite well. I'm showing you this angle, not just because we've got the beautiful backdrop of the farm, but I think that this is the best angle of the car. The rear 3/4 section, it looks really good. It's timeless. It's got the LED bars inside of the rear tail lights. It's not the LCI version, but I think it looks really cool. And I think it's aged quite well. It does still turn heads despite its age, and it sounds amazing. I'm going to get onto the sound in just a second and show you a few clips of what it sounds like. The car is absolutely superb. Now, if you're in the market for a budget performance GT German cruiser with a V8 engine, then look no further than this BMW 650i. Right, we're losing a little bit of daylight here, guys, so I'm going to get onto the fun part. I'm going to show you fully what this car sounds like. I've got my mic, I'm going to hook it all up, I'm going to show you a full sound of what the car sounds like, and then I'm going to do a bit of driving and just show you what it's like on the country roads. Hopefully you can hear it. So I've got one mic on me and I've got one mic on the outside of the car. I want to show you just quickly one of the things that is just so addictive about this car, and just V8s in general. Like, once you've had a car with a V8 naturally aspirated engine and it sounds like this, it's going to be very hard to go back to a car with a smaller engine, let me tell you. So I'm going to just do a few pulls safely on these back roads where I am now. It's very quiet, and just do a few little accelerations and just show you the sound that this car makes and why. Let me just show you. So immediately you'll probably hear a few little rattles, a few little shakes. That's the lower control arm, swing arm, and the tracker what that needs doing. So that's something on this car that needs attention, but that's not what I want to show you. What I want to show you is this. Amount of money that sounds like that and puts a smile on your face like that. It just isn't. That's a naturally aspirated V8.